We're back with another episode.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. We are... Sorry. We are back at it again.
We are compromised.
Oh, my God. No, we're not. It was the hot chocolate because I don't have my creamer in here. Right,
y'all, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but she puts creamer and white chocolate chips in her hot chocolate.
Oh, no. Only creamer. I only put the white chocolate chips if I don't have creamer.
But that's still so much sugar. Like,
it's really
does it taste like diabetes?
No, it doesn't taste like that at all.
Who puts creamer in hot chocolate? It makes no sense.
Me.
God.
But it's like, I usually put the pumpkin spice in there or the white chocolate mocha from Starbucks.
I already know it's going to piss me off. It's still too much sugar and I don't stand for it. But you do you.
Not really. It's, no. My glucose panel is fine.
Do your teeth go, ooh?
No, because I don't put a whole lot in it.
Oh, okay.
I put like a serving size in it. Oh. Speaking of serving size, so I saw this. I know this is totally off topic. We're trying to do an intro. Anyway, so
we're going to start this podcast off right.
Yeah,
off
exactly. So I saw this episode of 600 Pound Life. And so the lady came in, I think she was like 800 pounds or some shit. Anyway, so I think it was her mother or whatever. They were in Dr. Now's office. And so the lady says, I don't understand why she didn't lose the weight, Dr. Now, because the only thing she's changed was she took out the vinaigrette that you suggested and switched it with honey mustard. And so the lady says, yeah, because like 2 cups, right? That's all we put in there is 2 cups. And I said,
2 cups.
2 cups of honey mustard, like on one salad. Like,
that's a
ma'am.
Jeez Louise.
Isn't the bottle like 2 cups?
That sounds about it.
Oh my God, it's crazy. But anyway, welcome back to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler.
So happy to have you here.
Yes, we are back at it again. How was your week?
There were ups, there were downs, there were highs, there were lows.
Yeah.
High being I just purchased tickets for the Ludacris concert. Thank you very much.
Ludacris. Ludacris, like here he come in San Antonio?
Maybe you've heard of him. Yeah,
no, I have. But
Christopher.
Who is he? Christopher Bridges. I'm kidding. Who is he coming with? Himself.
Luda
still out here touring
at the San Antonio rodeo. Hell yeah.
Oh, at the rodeo.
He's trying to make them bucks. Them cute little rodeo dollars.
So they are going to do the rodeo again this year.
They're doing the rodeo, cool. And Ludacris will be here, and I will be there cheering him on.
That's awesome.
If he doesn't play My Chick bad, we're gonna have a problem.
I saw Chris Staples that one time he came.
We're really into Chris's on this podcast.
I didn't know none of his music. I don't know country music like that. I really don't.
Oh,
I'm not a country music fan.
Country music's pretty good. The rodeo's fun. You get to, get your boots out, dust them off.
I have not purchased a pair of boots since I moved here yet.
You don't have a pair of boots?
No.
We gotta go boot shopping.
Boots are expensive.
They are really expensive.
Like real authentic cowgirl boots are expensive.
But you have them for a long time if you take care of them.
When will I wear them?
You wear them once a year at the rodeo, sugar.
We actually have quite a bit of like doctors at the hospital. Well, where I used to work that wear boots. Like they actually do like surgery in cowboy boots. I think it's the weirdest thing.
It's weird. I wear them to tailgate. I wear them to the rodeo.
Do you wear a hat too?
I wish I wore a hat. Oh. No. Yellowstone's really got me back on hats though. I really need. Jesus. It's because when I was in Colorado, I got a hat and I was like, I'm gonna bring.
Did you get it made or you just bought it like off the shelf?
Off the shelf.
Those are expensive too. Cowboy hats, cowgirl hats are very
Being
expensive.
A cowboy is expensive for people who live on the land.
Except for the Levi jeans, those aren't expensive.
Yeah. Well, they are now. They're $100.
Levi's?
Mm-hmm.
Who's buying their stock? That's weird.
Gen Z.
What are you buying dad and mom jeans for?
That's all the little girls wear Levi's. It gives them a little booty.
I thought Fashion Nova was supposed to do that.
Okay, what little white girl's gonna go buy Fashion Nova?
I mean, they're cheap.
That's for the curvy girls.
It's very true. They got spandex. That's what I usually.
They got a curve section.
That's where a lot of mine come from. That Gap and Old Navy.
It's because Urban Outfitters started selling Levi's, and now all the gals got them. But
cool beans.
Yeah, speaking of Chris's, I'm just gonna start us off because
you didn't even ask me about my week. I guess she don't give a damn about my week. All right.
Because Christopher Brown is in the news again, and I'm so upset.
For what?
We can pause it. How's your week?
It was boring. Nothing.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
That's why I skipped you.
I didn't go to the gym like I should have. I went to, doing hood shit with my friends and was like, fuck that gym. So yeah.
The gym will be there. You know it won't.
That's very true.
Your friends.
Well, hopefully.
All the time. Yeah, well.
I hope you're not killing them all. But yeah, why is Chris Brown in the news?
Listen, because he can't stay out of it. Is
it that he can't stay out of it? People can't keep his name out of their mouths.
Well, listen. Until all the facts are facting, I don't want to. I don't want to put anything out there. I've stood my ground and I've crossed lines in the sands before, and then I had to walk it back. So I'm just gonna say he's being sued for $20 million for allegedly
stealing a song.
No.
What?
I wish it was that easy. It's the, old song and dance, drugging and raping an attractive singer, actor, actress, model, dancer.
I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot.
He is being sued. Apparently, he invited this gal over to a yacht parked in Diddy's yacht spot. Allegedly. She had a sudden and unexplainable loss of consciousness in which she had physical interactions with Christopher Brown. Mm-hmm. Next morning, he texted her like, yo, last night was wild. Don't remember it. Take that fucking plan B. Because that's my plan A.
Wow.
And now he's being sued. He also does have new music coming out.
I was just going to say that.
I don't know if it correlates.
Because I did hear that his album, that he had another album coming out, and I know he was working on new music. I just, I don't know what it is with, and this is aside from this particular situation, I don't know what it is with the media having like this disdain for Chris Brown. It's very reminiscent of how the media in, the UK looks at Meghan Markle. That she cannot do anything right. Like, even though she doesn't do any, like, I feel like Chris Brown minds his business. Like,
I feel like he's really trying to for the most part.
Yeah, he's literally trying to stay under the radar, and people for some reason just keep bringing his name up. Here's also what I want to say about this particular alleged situation. I just feel like at this point in 2022, we need to start having NDAs, and you don't need to start showing up to people's houses or wherever, parties, whatever, unless you sign an NDA.
That's what I was about to say. He is one of the few people who does make everyone sign an NDA, and he snatches up them phones, and you do not get it back until you leave. Yeah. But I'm guessing because this was not at his house or whatever, that didn't happen. But I've heard multiple times things happening at his house. And remember that? Okay, yes. Do you remember the girl who was pissed off because she couldn't get her phone back? Mm-mm. She was trying to leave, and they had all the phones, and then the cops ended up coming, and like SWAT was there, and he was, quote, barricaded inside his house and wouldn't leave. And it was allegedly, and it was because this girl was pissed off. She couldn't get her phone back.
I just heard about the one girl that kept like breaking in his house.
That stalker too. No, so yeah, I know he does NDAs, and I don't know what's going on, but
yeah, that just seems very
like clockwork. Every time he's about to have something I feel like he's getting sued. And $20 million is a lot of money.
I mean, it is, and but I think I would just always go back to this. When you are two responsible adults consenting to something, and especially with this day and age of celebrityism and you going to people's parties and houses and all that kind of stuff. This is why it is so important to be in control of your faculties. This is why it's so important to not overdo it and overdrink. So you're not in control of your faculties. So you're trying to figure out, well, what the hell went on. And for, even for him to allegedly send a text that says, don't know what happened, but go ahead and take plan B, or whatever she, communicated back to him. Like, this is why responsible adults need to be you need to be in control of your faculties. That's just it.
Do you think his NDA is a DocuSign?
I would hope so.
I would hope so too. Like, my vision of this is like, you walk into his house, there's this guy there and like dressed in all black, security. He's got this big ass iPad and he's like, scroll, initial here, please. Mm-hmm. Like, surely they're not printing papers for you to sign. Yeah. Right.
But you know what I think too, like, and this is not like a conspiracy, but the same thing used to happen with K. Michelle. Like, when K. Michelle, every time she came out with a project, it was always some foolishness in the news, like, oh, headlines, this person said this about K. Michelle. And it was never anything that K. Michelle actually did. It was people bringing K. Michelle's name up and saying stuff. Like, remember that beef I don't know, I won't call it beef, but a disagreement that her and Angela Yee had. I think it was somebody, I don't want to say call names, I can't remember it, but it was some rapper and his friend or whatever. They came on talking about her body and different things of that nature. And it was right before she was ready to release an album. And she's just like, every single time I get ready to release an album, people always have my name in their mouths. And I'm just like, Chris Brown is still going to win all the BET Awards. So I don't know. Please leave Chris Brown alone. Please. Leave Chris Brown I feel like he doesn't even do anything in the news to like be seen. Like, just leave Chris Brown alone. # leave Chris Brown alone.
Hey, I'm here for a leave Chris Brown alone.
Seriously, good night. Oh my God. Well, speaking of another celebrity, which is actually kind of a victory in her eyes, or, in the eyes of the public as well too. And I think this really is a very important topic to talk about, since we are a podcast we do have a podcast, and obviously this is our show, and this is what we do. This is not what we do for a living. This is a hobby, really. I wish we did this for a living and got paid for it. But in the news this past week, if you've been living under a rock, then you haven't heard it. But Cardi B and a blogger, her name is Tasha K. She has a YouTube channel. They were at odds in court over the last 3 years due to, and I'm just saying allegedly for the protection of our podcast, allegedly Tasha K has been spewing some very disrespectful, hurtful things about Cardi B, talking about her medical records, venereal diseases, the types of activities that she allegedly is involved in with prostitution and all that kind of stuff. So she's been going on this whole thing for, I guess, like a couple of years. And really slandering Cardi B, defaming her name and things of that nature. So of course Cardi B is like, listen, I'm not gonna fight you in the streets. I'm gonna hit your ass in court. And that's exactly what the fuck she did. Because the last
time I tried to fight someone in the streets, and Offset had to hire someone to get the job done.
Allegedly.
I got in trouble. Allegedly.
So I don't know nothing about that.
But also knowing that, why the fuck would you start shit with Cardi B?
But not even that. I just think, okay, so let me finish the story. So basically they went to court. They've been in court for 3 years. As y'all know, Cardi B just had a baby boy, was it last year? And so she even said that she was, suicidal during this time because of the stuff that this girl was saying and the things that she was alleging about her. Or, well, she wasn't alleging them. She was basically saying, these are facts. I have facts about X, Y, and Z. So when you're, allegedly lying and allegedly coming out with facts and they're not true, that's a big problem. And so anyway, in the news this past week, Cardi B actually had a big win in court. She won the case. And I think the punitive damages are like anywhere between $3.8 to $4 million. You
played yourself.
Exactly. And so Tasha K came out and did like a little speech afterwards. It's like, I just want to thank all my supporters, my husband, my attorneys. And, when you're trying to fight a big machine and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm just like.
Machine? Didn't she say that this girl had like VD and stuff?
Allegedly. She said that she alleged that Cardi B had venereal diseases and that she had proof and facts and all this stuff. Here's what I do think about that. I think it is. In the public eye, these celebrities are going to be talked about, right? But I think it's a very big difference from us sharing our opinion about a celebrity versus saying what we feel like is a fact. Yeah. Like, oh no, I know she got this and I know she doing this. When you start to do that, that's very dangerous territory. And I think you've now gone too far for clickbait. Mm-hmm. And now your ass is out of $4 million, potentially.
Like, that's money I don't have.
Listen.
Here's what I'm not about to do.
I ain't about to ever get on this podcast and say I know something for a fact about any celebrity. First of all, I don't have access to celebrities like that. This is not what we do. But, and even if I did, I'm not going to make a campaign of trying to ruin your life and say, well, I know this about you. Because my thing is, if you're making comments and things about alleging, I'm just saying, again, for the protection of our podcast, that she has a particular venereal diseases and stuff like that. How do you know this information to be fact? And if you have access to her medical records, that's a HIPAA violation. And if you're sharing her medical records, that's also a HIPAA violation. And you don't have to be a medical professional to violate HIPAA. Like if somebody gave you somebody else's medical records and you're distributing them, that's also illegal. Like you can't do shit like that.
What is the word when you say things about people that aren't real, that isn't true? That's
lying. Why you always lying? Why the fuck you lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying. I don't know.
What is the legal term for when you say shit that isn't true about someone who's famous?
Slander.
I wanted to say blasphemy. That's not.
That's about Jesus. So don't do that. That's a cardinal sin. Please.
Slander.
Yeah. So that was what the whole case was about slander and defamation. I believe. And so I just think that, people with these microphones in your hand, like, again, there's a huge, literally, there's a huge difference between sharing your personal opinion about someone through your own perception versus saying something or allegedly making up stories about a celebrity and saying, I know this to be a fact, and think that they're just supposed to, go along with that. Because even people were calling for like YouTube to get rid of her page and saying that, y'all shouldn't allow platforms like this to be making up lies about stuff like this, which could be a real consequence for Tasha K.
Slander.
That is like, and now but I think this is a landmark case for a lot of bloggers, like, because even like Paris Hilton, like, Perez.
Didn't he come out recently and he was like, "Yeah, that was fucked up. The shit I be doing."
But
he was ruining people's lives.
Brutal, and I'm just like,
those people
why?
have a huge platform. You say one thing and you just say it once, but there's 300,000 people who go after them and say the same thing a million times in the comments and to other people. Yeah,
because even like when you talk about Kim Kardashian, first of all, I used to love Kim Kardashian when they first came out. I used to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
This is news to me.
Honestly, when before and I'm saying this just because before Bruce Jenner and Kris Jenner divorced, that to me was like primetime Kardashians.
That was a good Kardashian
It was a good era. And then when they split, it was just weird, and not because he was transitioning. It was just the storylines and the content that they were putting out at the time. It was just a very weird space for all of them.
The whole, like, a huge part of that content was we're doing crazy progressive things, and Bruce is like, "What the hell are y'all doing?"
Exactly. When he wasn't on the show anymore, it was a little bit more dull because he was the one who brought them back to reality. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Yeah. You know. So he kind of brought that comedic relief and comedic time into the show. I felt like, but I never, even though you talk about Kim Kardashian, I'm like, oh, fuck Kim Kardashian. I'm not over here. She's this and she's that, and I got a factor on her. Like, no. Like, I don't have a problem with Kim Kardashian. I just think that she's not important in my personal life. But other than that, I mean, I just think that this is, again, I think it's a landmark case. And I think when you have a microphone in your hand and you have a platform, I don't care if you have 2 followers or if you have 2 million followers, you have a responsibility with these microphones. And not only that, celebrities are human too. Like, you can't sit here and make up stuff about Cardi B, and this girl is already scrutinized for the type of music that she makes, for, you know, where she comes from. Exactly. That's always, and she's not ashamed about it.
Taking her husband back time and time again.
Well, you know, but her life is being scrutinized. And yes, she to a degree, she put herself in that position to be talked about because she is a celebrity. But at the same time, she is a human being. And you can't sit here and think that if somebody made up stuff about you and then now people are publishing it on multiple sites or, you know, saying, oh, well, allegedly this happened, and having all these conversations, that it's not going to affect her emotionally.
And she already told y'all, press.
She don't need no more press.
She don't need no more press.
She in Pepsi commercials and everything else. Cardi B is fine as far as her press is concerned. Jimmy Fallon she be on, and commercials and all kind of stuff. She don't need your help.
If she honestly was just on TikTok for the rest of her days, I'd be so happy.
Who, like, Cardi B?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cardi B is fun.
Oh, man.
I didn't like her when she was... it's not that I didn't like her. I didn't like the content that she put out when she first... Before anybody really knew her, when she was just like this trash talking, like, you know...
From Love and Hip Hop?
No, before Love and Hip Hop, how she actually got on. Like, she was just this loud, you know, what I have a regular degular. And I was just like, whoa. But then when you got a chance to see her on Love and Hip Hop, she was hilarious. And I was just like, I love this girl. And I think too, because I'm biased because I love Cardi B. But yeah, I think Tasha K have learned her lesson. Hopefully.
I know this is very random, but do you remember the WAP video?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember how...
Okay.
Sorry, I had a concussion this weekend. My brain's not working.
She had whiplash.
Remember how Kylie Jenner's in the WAP video for like 20 seconds, and that's like a huge part of the video?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that now. It irks me. Why did she need to be in that video? She had nothing to do with any of it.
You have to ask Belcalis about that.
I'm so upset. Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway.
I digress. Anyway.
Yeah. So I think hopefully Tasha K has learned her lesson, and from the video that she posted about, because I watched the whole thing where she was basically, you know, kind of giving her take on it and just saying that, you know, I will continue to fight and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm just like,
fight for what? You're talking shit about a celebrity.
But my thing is, I think you haven't learned your lesson, because here's the thing. If anybody took me to court and said, bitch, you slandered me, and the jury says, yes, bitch, we found evidence and you got to pay her $4 million, you know what I would do?
Shut the fuck up. Log off permanently and shut the fuck up.
And at least for 6 months, shut the fuck up.
She's pulling a Bill Cosby. You need to go in a corner and just shut up.
I'm going on tour. Okay.
No.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Like, just be quiet.
Keep a name out your mouth.
Listen, pride comes before a fall. That's all I'm saying. Pride comes before a fall. So anyway, on the backs of that, pride coming before a fall. Some people did fall, literally. You were telling me about a story that I haven't heard I haven't heard the details about. I just heard the headline. So I guess some brothers allegedly killed their stepfather or something like that.
Yeah. What's going on with that? When anyone says brother out of context like that, I think of Hulk Hogan. You remember how he used to say,
yes, brother.
Let me get their names.
Okay.
Will you cut this out? Or are you just going to tell me you're going to cut it out?
I'll probably just tell you I'm going to cut it out. Cool. No, I'm not even going to say it because I'm not going to lie. You're not going to take me to court for slander.
Slander.
But good job. Listen, Cardi B, I applaud you. Take them hoes to court. Y'all stop doing stuff like that.
Okay, so these two brothers from McAllen, which is down in the valley of Texas.
Oh,
Texas, hook 'em horns, baby. Alejandro Trevino, he's 18. Christian Trevino, he's 17. Ooh. And then their friend Eduardo Melendez, writer. They allegedly, supposedly murdered their stepfather, who was being accused of inappropriately touching their little sister, their 9-year-old sister.
Why are they in jail?
So
free them.
Their stepdad, Gabriel Quintanilla, which that was Selena's last name.
Yes.
By the way.
Why you had that Quintanilla?
Because that's how you have to say it. He was found in a field by a farmer.
Wow.
So how
old is the sister, did they say?
9, I believe.
Oh, adios meals.
I do believe that the stepdad had been accused before of like being sexually inappropriate with a minor.
Oh, Jesus.
But supposedly, the cops had gone to apprehend him, and they just couldn't find him.
Wow.
So he was never taken to jail.
Wow. And the brothers were like, yeah, we're going to take this into our own
These brothers
hands.
found this shit out, went to this homie's trailer park, got him.
I think that's an appropriate
Got him there.
Yeah.
The scuffle moved to an apartment complex. They got him there, threw him in a truck, took him to a field, and they got him one last time.
You got murked for doing that. I mean,
I don't know. So now there's a petition going around because obviously they're arrested and they've been charged.
Well, where do I sign? I need to sign this petition because those boys don't need to be in jail.
God, thank the Lord, I've never been in that situation.
Yeah.
But holy moly.
But I think too, even when you have, family members or mothers or fathers that do that, because even you ever watch a movie A Time to Kill? You probably haven't never heard
A
that
Time to Kill. Give me some context clues here.
Samuel L. Jackson plays in A Time to Kill.
I know him.
Who was his wife? Did his real wife actually play in that? No, she did not. Who was the wife in there? It was not Alfre Woodard. I can't remember who the wife was. Matthew McConaughey was in there. He played the lawyer.
I know that guy. Oh, the one with Sandra Bullock.
Yes, Sandra Bullock. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this, Shirley.
Yeah. Anyway, the preface of the story is that his daughter was sexually assaulted by 2 or 3 white men. Anyway, and he went back and murdered them. So now he's on trial for murder. Anyway, but yes, I think that there should be a law where you can go and get revenge whatever way you see fit.
They're also so young, 17, 18.
Yeah. But you can't imagine, but I mean, a 9-year-old girl and her brothers being overprotective already. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I have an older brother, but he wasn't overprotective. He didn't grow up in the household with us. So there's no protectiveness at all. But I'm quite sure if you heard somebody violating your brother, your younger sibling, because I'm the baby, so I don't have any younger siblings. But even if they did that to my older siblings, I would definitely lose my mind.
Yeah,
I probably would.
I want justice for the friend. He was just ride or die. That's a good friend.
That's a good friend.
They said, get in the car. He said, I'm with you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. So I'm not going on with that. There's like 200,000 names signed to this petition. And petitions have been doing a lot lately. Remember that trucker who was sentenced to forever in jail?
100 years. And I think didn't they bring it down to like 5 or 10, something like that? Mm-hmm. I still think that's too much. But anyway. So
that's what's going on in Texas. That and a woman tried to purchase a child at a Walmart.
For how much?
First she offered $250,000. And when the mom was like, no. She was like, fine, $500,000. And they were like, what the hell? And she would not leave this mom alone. And it was this little like blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby boy. And the mom was freaked out. And this lady kept going after her, trying to buy her kid.
Did she prove that she had the $500,000? Because I would have been like, let's do an even exchange here.
Money talks, bullshit walks, lady.
Thank you.
No, I think the mom was freaked out because some lady was running after her, trying to buy her child.
That's crazy.
So the cops went to arrest her. Because I don't know if you know it, but it's illegal to buy and sell children.
Well, I think we should look at this on the bright side, right? At least she didn't just go and kidnap your child. At least she asked and offered you money.
A fair price. I would say $500,000 is a fair price for a child.
I would say so.
Not my child, because if I have to go through that shit, I'm keeping them. Yeah, I'm using them for labor. They got to pay
and tax
off.
returns. Hell yeah, them child checks.
But I'm just saying, I don't know that people who have $500,000 on hand cash shop at Walmart. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I'd be a little concerned as to the validity of that claim.
Yeah, no, I just don't think you have $500,000 because if you just offer that to buy a child, I don't even think that that's like a sex trafficking thing. That lady probably more than likely had a mental issue.
She had to,
allegedly.
But now you got to go to jail.
Yeah,
you're just
probably forever.
You're letting your mouth talk, spouting some bullshit, but now you're gonna end your ass up in jail.
And also, when people find out why you're in jail because you tried to buy a child, they gonna kill you.
That's not good.
In jail, because a lot of people in jail got kids. So yeah, don't do that.
Texas is having a time.
Y'all are also too. Y'all are having another time because you were telling me something about the incident or something like that. You told me you want to tell me on the air.
Yo, listen to this. I was on TikTok.
Per usual.
Maybe.
Me too.
You've been on TikTok as well. And I came across this speech. She was this cute little lady, and she is a speech therapist, and her name is 5, 6, 7, 8.
This hot chocolate is really hot.
JRC _ the SLP. Right. And she was saying,
love her hair.
I know, she's beautiful. So she is a speech therapist in multiple elementary schools. And so she said she kept getting these emails talking about an incident in one of her schools. And she was like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. So she finally talked to one of the teachers there who said the librarian had the 3rd grade class reenact the Holocaust, full with costumes and everything. She had the kids digging graves.
Whoa. The librarian.
The librarian.
And did they say how old the librarian is?
No, but I'm thinking decrepit and white and angry.
What? This is not our... I keep saying this. This is not our planet. We are on the wrong planet.
Reenact the Holocaust with costumes. Had the children digging graves. Had the child picked out to play Hitler kill himself.
Are you serious?
And then the child that was assigned to be Hitler also was a Jewish boy. So that really rounded out the whole thing. But isn't that insane? 3rd graders. Where'd you get the costumes from?
That's what I was about to ask. Did you...
Also, what were the costumes?
I'm quite sure that...
Because the Jews didn't have shit in the Holocaust.
No.
They took them shoes, their jewelry, their teeth, everything.
They took their lives? Like, what the fuck?
They did take the lives, too.
What in your brain makes you think that is appropriate to reenact something? Like, if you were doing a lesson about this is what the Holocaust was, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z, right? But to go as far as to dress up children and get costumes, you ought to be put in jail.
Also, I don't think I learned about I'm not saying kids shouldn't learn about the Holocaust, but I don't think I learned about that till like 7th grade, where you can be like, oh, okay.
I think I learned about it I learned about the Holocaust. The Holocaust in high school. Like, I knew what it was because just from being at home, and my parents, of course, educated us on that. But as far as going very deep in the history of the Holocaust, I think was in high school, because I think one of my my history teacher, I want to say he was Jewish.
He was a Jewish man.
Yeah, he was a Jewish man.
He didn't make you reenact the Holocaust?
No. I would have slapped the shit out of that.
I'm just thinking, I don't know much about kids, but I'm going to say 3rd grade's a little too young to learn about genocide.
But reenacting it.
Exactly.
I don't think they're too young to learn about it, but I think there's way too young to reenact. Like, why do you need to reenact that?
Yo, speaking of reenactments, did your high school ever do the like drunk driving simulation?
Yes.
That shit's traumatic.
But I went to a black school, so they didn't have all the supplies.
Oh.
We didn't have like the fake blood and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, where they get like the totaled car and they pull one of your classmates out and the cops come and then you have to lay there dead.
With a toe tag on. Yeah, they did that.
That shit's traumatic.
We just didn't have texting and driving because, again, nobody had cell phones at that time. So cell phones were out and they were invented, but nobody had a cell phone like that when I was in school. Everybody had two-way pagers or beepers. No, I was 3. 1987.
Too many reenactments.
But even there was one teacher that did that with this white teacher who did that with these black students, and she basically reenacted a slave auction block where she put these little black kids and made the white kids pay for them.
That's not funny.
I'm sorry if
Can you just imagine the kids getting super into it and they're like $50. 100.
Listen,
he's strong. I'll give you $250.
I think this is why God has not allowed me to have children.
Have you seen his dad? His dad's huge.
I think this is why God has not allowed me to have kids yet, because he knows that the minute either push or have anything comes out of my uterus that is my DNA, I will murder somebody with my child. You do. I'm gonna come up there and just no questions asked. I'm breaking your jaw. What is wrong with people? I don't even
think you can calm, cool, collectively have that discussion. Like if I'm that parent at that school and you, even if you made my child not the slave,
that's just
no. So inappropriate,
that's
dude.
So inappropriate. Like there's never going to be a time where you tell me that that's appropriate to
again,
ever
the buying and selling of people is illegal.
And it's morally, well, I mean, this country's not
morally corrupt.
Very. And you need Jesus and you need your ass whooped too. Like that's ridiculous. God. Well, speaking of school systems, I'm trying to find out, here it is. So allegedly, your favorite governor, Texas governor, of course, was in the news because apparently there's a bill that has been proposed by Greg Abbott, allegedly, to allow parents to decide if their children had to repeat a failed course. And there's also a part of the bill, I think, is also to place teachers on a do not hire list for providing students with material that's deemed obscene by the state.
So here's the thing. No, because it's not going to be the slave auction simulators and the Holocaust reenactors that are going to get put on this do not fly list. It's going to be the what's the one we like? What's the thing we want to teach the kids?
Critical race theory.
That one. Mm-hmm. See, that's why I can't be a teacher. I don't know what I'm talking
about. I thought you were going to Abbott Elementary. I was going to say,
I do love Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary is an amazing show.
So good.
But no, I think
I mean, there should be a list for crazy teachers.
Yeah, teachers that do shit like that. Yeah, those people should go on the
list. But I feel like that list is going to be full of super young, liberal, progressive teachers.
This teacher did not cut my child's sandwich in the quarters like I asked her to. Do not hire.
This teacher told my child about the banned book list.
Exactly.
Do not hire her.
But I don't think that it's appropriate for parents to guide if their children get to pass a grade or not. Because number one, you're not an educator. Number two, you did not go to school for this.
Isn't that the school's job to tell me whether or not they should go to the next grade?
Exactly. And I honestly feel like there are probably more teachers who are passing kids who shouldn't be passed just to get rid of them.
Yes.
Or little kids who just, especially if they're in single parent households or in households, low income, and their parents are working all the time and they see the kid is trying, but they got grown ass responsibilities at the house. They're just like, I know you're not where you need to be academically, but you are trying. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass you anyway.
That's when my mom was in the classroom, she was telling me that's one of the biggest issues. She was like, I have this kid who's way below where they should be, but everyone up until this point has just passed them. So what am I supposed to do now?
Exactly.
Hold them back. It's not their fault that everyone keeps passing them along. And what is holding them back and to do? So we just have to work to see whatever the hell we can get out of them. And then they're going to have to do all this other stuff. This, to me, tells me that the kids are way more fucked up than initially anticipated now because of all this COVID shit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because first of all...
And now they're like, we would have to hold way too many kids back and it's going to disrupt everything. So we're going to put this back on the parents like we did with the last 2 years of teaching, which has now fallen onto these parents.
Yeah. And I think, too, it's not the children's fault. You have people... And there's really no right answer. There was no right answer of how to fix a situation with a pandemic. No one has lived through a pandemic who has been in a position of power in the education system and in government as well too, who knew there was no right answer. So anything you did, it was going to be a fuck up regardless.
The right answer was to pull everyone off the grid and to go live off the land. Homeschool your own kids.
Okay, do you know how to live off the land right now? That will be a no.
If we kept Wi-Fi, I could figure it out.
That's not living off the grid, baby.
That's the only part of the grid I need.
You want the grid with solar.
Thank you. Solar grids.
So do you know how to make your own food?
I could figure it out. I'll buy a book.
Okay.
I can make my own food, like meals.
Okay. You must not have seen the
Beanie Weenies, Vienna sausages.
What was the movie with Killer Mike? He came out with this movie about but it wasn't a movie. It was it was following him through like trying to live on just black things only, like by black creators or black inventors only. And then he ended up buying this big plot of land, and he brought people over to try to make his own country within the United States or whatever. And they had like a government and all this other kind of stuff. But there were so many things that he didn't know how to do. But he does know how to like grow his own food and stuff, just because he grew up with his, grandparents and everything, and they did that. But anyway, neither here nor there. Yeah, I think you need to learn how to garden first.
Garden.
Yeah.
Like you put that's so wild.
Do you know what gardening is?
The idea of gardening. You put this in the ground and you just
gotta water it.
And then it grows food.
Yeah, but you also have to watch out for different bugs that come and try to eat your crops and the soil, and if your soil's not good and if it's not composted.
Here's the issue with me. I don't know if we've talked about this before. I have ADD. Right?
No, yeah, you have ADD.
Same thing.
Not
ADHD. Yeah. They call it all ADHD.
I was gonna say you're not hyperactive though.
No, I'm not. But it's all ADHD now.
Yeah.
But I've killed every plant I've ever had.
So no gardening for you.
I forget to water it. Out of sight, out of mind, baby.
So okay, hypothetically speaking, I know we are going off on a tangent. Hypothetically speaking, if we were off the grid during this time, right? What would you bring to the table of society to help society? I don't like the way you phrased
that question. That was extremely rude. I am a constant source of entertainment.
So you'll be entertaining for the children.
I'm entertaining. Okay. I'm scrappy. I talk like a cartoon character. I would be the TV.
That's entertainment is needed.
I don't eat very much when I'm on my medication. You don't. I wouldn't be.
What if you couldn't have your medication? Could you still be entertainment? Yeah, you have to
probably
be.
Even more.
Yeah.
Oh.
We just give all the kids to
my left lung's pretty fucked, so I don't even use that much oxygen.
Okay.
I'm a good one.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm anemic, so I sleep most of the time.
When you're not entertaining.
When I'm not entertaining. I have bouts of energy and then it's done. I'm honestly your ideal candidate. And how dare you?
No. That wasn't an insult.
Phrase the question like that. What do you bring to the table?
I could bring woodworking, because I do work with my hands.
Woodworking?
Yes, I can build stuff. You're looking at it right there. I built this stuff.
I bought that from Home Goods.
No, I wish. I actually bought those from Michael's and then put them all together. But yeah, no, I have a whole like workshop in my garage and stuff, so I can be good with my hands. I cook too, Yeah, that's about it. I'm not giving entertainment. I'm not doing no physical therapy.
No song, no dance.
Nope.
You're just stretching people.
Nope. They're gonna be like, I've been out in this field. Can't help you. Can't do
Sucks.
it. Nope. Can't do it. Yeah, that's I don't think parents should dictate how kids move through the education system.
No, that's why there's an education system.
Exactly. If you wanted to dictate that, then that comes to homeschool, and you need to be qualified to be able to do that. Or not necessarily qualified, but just
feel like there are very few parents who would truly be like, yeah, go ahead and hold them back.
Some parents would.
I know some parents would. But like, should that
be... The overwhelming majority would not.
No, I don't think so either. Because you're more worried about socially, mentally, emotionally what that will do to your child.
Yeah.
I think,
Because even, some parents are, they'll get mad at the teacher. Like, well, why didn't my child get an A? I'm sorry. Why didn't your child get an A? Mm-hmm. I think you need to be asking your child that question.
Remember when teachers used to be like, I don't give out grades, you earn them. Or like, I didn't give you a 0, you earned it.
I went to black schools. Most black teachers were just like, I get my paycheck whether you learn or not. What every black teacher said. They were just like, oh, you want to keep talking if you want to. I get paid whether you learn or not. That's to be like, you ain't teaching that shit, no way.
Our teachers would be like, you start every year or every semester with an A. It's up to you whether or not you keep it.
My teacher used to say that too.
Excuse me? You're handing out the grade. I don't hand out grades. I give you what you earn. I'm like,
It's just like, you can help us, sister. Don't do me like that. That is absolutely insane. Well, kind of speaking on the backs of education, I don't know why this turned into like an educational episode, but anyway,
we're educated, smart, educated women.
That's very true.
We talk about the facts.
Did you hear that? So when you took your SAT, what year did you take your SAT?
2012, baby. Great year.
Wow.
I wrote a whole essay about my first time skydiving.
Wow.
Because it was talking about, name a time you overcame fear and anxiety, an obstacle, whatever.
So in 2012, I was actually in my 3rd year in PT school. Anyway.
You were so old, dude.
I'm not old. I'm young. I'm only 10 years old. I'm 37. I look good. Anyway, I took my SAT in 2001.
I was in 1st grade. I could barely write my name. You were taking a standardized test.
I was to try to get into college. Yeah. And how long was your test though?
long enough for me to not want to take it ever again. Maybe 5 hours, maybe?
Yeah, I think mine was 5 hours.
Does that sound right? 5 hours?
Absolutely. So in the news, by 2024, the SAT is actually going to be set to be digital and will be shortened.
Shortened to what? That test takes forever.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't say exactly like how long it would be, but they just said that they're going to make it digitized now within the next 2 years.
And you can take it from home, right?
You better not be able to take that from home.
Can you take it from? Why did I hear that? Or maybe
no, you can't. You shouldn't be able to take that from home. You should have to take that at a testing center. We couldn't do that.
Digital, but you know what? I bet you all the kids are so used to digital now. They probably,
with homeschool,
it's probably easier.
I'm not homeschool, but virtual learning.
Virtual learning.
Yeah. Did you use a Scantron though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
A booklet. It was a booklet.
Yeah.
With Scantron.
Yes, and then you had to do like your essay part. But what was your score though?
It was before it switched back, so mine was at a 2400. Because now it's at a 1600 again.
Oh, it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, we had to get a 1600.
See, every 10 years they switch it back.
Yeah, because even I've heard people like with the not with the ACT, but even like just with I think it is an SAT, and they're just like, oh yeah, I got a 37, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, the ACT's like shortened scale too.
Yeah.
No, because the first time I took it, I didn't have a calculator.
What? They didn't provide it for you?
You know my ass forgot it.
Oh.
Of course I did.
I was going to say,
and I'm horrible at math. So I got the same exact score on my PSAT and my SAT.
Why would you take a PSAT? What is that for? More torture?
You practice SAT.
Who does that?
White people.
I was going to say, I don't even think we had a PSAT.
The white kids.
Maybe we did.
You probably did. You just didn't do it. You probably don't remember. It was like 15 years ago.
Well, I took it twice, and I did it the first time because...
You have to take a practice SAT. You can't just go in there and just shoot your shot.
I never took a practice.
That's a big test.
Yeah, I know, because when I took it, we took it in these like what do they used to call them? Portables. A portable. I haven't said that word in a very long time.
Like a portable building?
Yeah, like a portable school portable. A tiny home for kids.
All it was 4 plastic walls. They're like, yes. It's a building.
You can hear everything with like a what you call it, an AC vent just hanging out the window.
They're like, we have run out of space.
Yeah.
Here's a makeshift classroom.
Because we took it because I think they allowed you to take 2 in the year for free or something like that. And because my best friend and I, we went and took it, and we just Christmas treat the shit out of that damn test. I was just like, because they're like, oh, take it the first time just to see what you get, blah blah blah, and you kind of know how to study. And I had the little book, but I didn't really study that shit. And then I took it again. And I was just like, well, if I don't get in, I just don't get in. The GRE was what I was talking about as far as the scores being changed.
Oh, that shit was
because we had to get what was it, 1,000 on your GRE to get into grad school or something like that.
I did not get 1,000.
No, I didn't either.
I got 2 points over when I needed to get into grad school. But it was like 700 and something.
I didn't even get what I needed to get to get in grad school. So God is good. His grace is sufficient. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And look at us now.
Definitely. We are hating that we went to college. It was not worth it. All right. On to some interesting things. Little Debbie. We got to talk about this. If you all don't know, I am a connoisseur of oatmeal pies, right? And of Little Debbie snacks. Okay.
Why do you love, like, when did that start, the oatmeal pie thing?
So, growing up in South Florida, hurricanes hit you multiple times a year.
I've heard, yes.
And the only things that you have to live off on that will sustain you, Little Debbie snacks.
That's not good, ma'am. I don't think that's right.
Well, when you're a kid, it's just burning fuel.
It's like Twinkies.
Exactly. Well, I don't like Twinkies. Ugh, Twinkies are gross.
Oh, you just like oatmeal pie.
I don't like centered filled stuff like that.
And oatmeal pie is literally
it's
full
thicker.
In this. Oh my
but it's
God.
thicker.
Oh.
And the oatmeal is much. It's like it's a consistency thing for me. But you give me not a Rice Krispie treat.
I do love Rice Krispie treats.
An oatmeal pie, a strawberry shortcake, a Swiss roll, a cosmic brownie,
I
a
do
honey
fuck with
bun,
cosmic brownies.
Star
honey
Crunch.
Bun. You remember the Nutter Butters? Ooh,
I hate Nutter Butters.
You hate?
I don't like wafers.
God, dude,
I don't like wafers.
It's
like that.
so hard to do this podcast with someone who has such little taste. It really is. You don't like Nutter Butters? Those are the best ones. It's peanut butter wafers. Chocolate covered wafers.
Name one black person that eats Nutter Butters.
If you
eat Nutter Butters, then put it in the comments. Put a peanut in the comment. I don't think they
put
have
a peanut
one.
Emoji.
So apparently, the reason why I'm bringing up Little Debbie is not because I'm just a fat ass. I'm bringing it up because I'm obese, but whatever. I'm working on it. I'm going to the gym. Anywho, but Little Debbie has actually come out they've teamed up with Hudsonville Ice Cream. Never heard of Hudsonville, but I'm quite sure it's amazing. And so they are coming out with 7 ice cream flavored ice creams that are, Lord Jesus, my words, inspired by Little Debbie. So they have a oatmeal pie. I'm looking for that. I actually went to Walmart yesterday and tried to look for it, and they did not have it. Anyway, that's very disappointing.
Do you eat ice cream like that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, no. I mean, not cow milk ice cream. Like, I don't do soy either. I do like the not lactose free, but dairy free. So
you're gonna buy this to what?
Just to be able to say I had it, and I'm gonna deal with the consequences later.
Sweet.
I mean, I'm not lactose intolerant, but I don't drink cow milk because of the hormones and stuff that they put in there allegedly. So yeah, they came out.
We don't want big dairy coming after.
Listen, you see the way that the meat industry did Oprah? She won, but goddamn, they came out there for some shit. She had to move her whole show to Texas. Anyway, so they came out with oatmeal pie, strawberry shortcake, Nutty bars.
The strawberry shortcake, is that the one with the little crumpled shits on top?
No, it's just like the strawberry swirl in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Those are really, really good. They have the Swiss cake roll, the cosmic brownie, the honey bun, and
I bet you that
zebra cakes.
Brownie. Ooh, my brother loves zebra cakes.
My sister loves zebra cakes.
It's weird.
She will tear up a damn zebra cake. It's ridiculous. Those and the Christmas trees. Ugh.
Oh, I do like the Christmas trees for some reason.
I like the little gingerbread when they come out limited edition every now and then.
You remember those star cluster ones? They're like kind of caramely, chocolate covered. It looks like a mound of Rice Krispies.
No, that's a new snack. Wow,
you got the new snacks.
You put me on some new. I thought I knew every snack there was. I'm a snack back.
This is the baddest podcast on the web.
We always end up talking about food at some point in time on this podcast.
My worry is that they're just gonna crumple up some shit and throw it in some ice cream and call it a new flavor, and I don't want that. I need give me something good. I need the ice cream to have a flavor. I need there to be chunks of stuff in it, maybe a ribbon of something, caramel swirl.
Well, the oatmeal pie cereal that they put out, Little Debbie put out,
is that good?
Really. Girl, I buy like 6 boxes at a time. I'm not even supposed to be eating cereal.
I think anything that says oatmeal pie, you're just gonna buy it.
Yes, I love oatmeal pies. Listen, the way to my heart is through an oatmeal pie. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we grew up eating oatmeal pies. I love them. One of my friends. Shout out to my friend Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
Her little brother. We used to call him Tim. Well, her little brother Tim. I think this is his name, Tim. Anyway, he did this one time when he was very little. He stole her oatmeal pies out of her room or something. And so, as big as he is, I'm quite sure he's probably in his mid 20s now, early 20s, whatever. But we still be like, remember that time you stole this oatmeal pie?
Egregious.
He'd just be like, let it go, let it the fuck go. He's like, okay, never mind.
Little brothers.
But, yeah, they're amazing. So last couple of things that we want to talk about. Do we want to talk about these podcasters, these black men podcasters?
Yo, I know we sit up here every whatever and we come on your earphones every Tuesday and we say some crazy, wild, out of pocket shit. But these men with their microphones, I'm so over it, dude.
What are they saying out here in the streets?
All these people with podcasts who have Y chromosomes who are just sitting here saying this stupid shit about women because they just want to put their... Here, let me find one. I bet literally I can do 3 scrolls and I'll find one.
I was going to say, yeah, it's not that difficult to find it.
Oh, yeah, look, found one for you.
Was that one you showed me earlier?
Yeah, so this is... Hold. Let me get the...
I'll edit it.
Yeah, edit this so I can tell you. What is this called? This is Owen's perspective. Now, Mr. Owen, I don't know who you are. I don't know what's going on, but I just need you to listen to this.
Oh, Jesus.
I could have 18, 30, 40, 50 women pregnant at the same time. As a female, you can only be pregnant by one man at a time. And further, it benefits you as a woman to stick to that man because the more you get pregnant, the more your value declines. Stretch marks, losing the vaginal elasticity, and all of these meaningful things that attract men. So you are one who should stick with a man. So monogamy is very meaningful for women, whereas for a male who has a lot of resources, monogamy is not a necessity.
It's actually a detriment to you. I personally think if you're a man of a certain status and income, it's stupid for you to be monogamous. But you know what I'm saying? But women can still benefit from...
I call this this is all Joe Rogan's fault. He gave men this
Is Joe Rogan a misogynist?
Allegedly? Have you listened to the Joe Rogan podcast?
Only when Miss Pat was on there. That's the only time I've ever seen
I think he just gave men this green light to be like, go out there, wild out, say what you want. You can say anything. And there's got to be some man out there who will agree with you. And that's your new following. And you don't have a platform and all these people backing you up. But literally I'm just bombarded on my For You page of men saying dumbass shit like that.
I just think,
and it has to be for clickbait, right? There's no way.
Like he can't be. First of all, he can't have a wife or a girlfriend or kids at all saying stuff like that.
He said vaginal elasticity.
But my thing is, do you even have a vagina? Because if you don't have a vagina, you shouldn't speak on vaginal things. Is my point. Like stretch marks. Who gives? Men have stretch marks.
I thought it was 2022. I thought we were done just being like, oh, women are here just to look pretty and have babies.
But I don't understand how having children devalues women in any kind of way. Because I think I personally believe, especially as a single woman, I look at a man with multiple children, with multiple baby mamas as devalued. Like, don't nobody want to deal with all of that? Like, baby mama, you know what? No, absolutely not. Like, where are these men's mothers?
This is the new pandemic.
Where are their fathers? I'm sorry. Where are their fathers?
Men with podcasts. I swear to God.
These people are weird.
They need therapy and a hug.
Seriously, they need to be on somebody's couch.
And an older sister. Every boy needs sisters. I believe it. It's true.
I honestly think that it's stupid for men with money to be monogamous. What? Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
I keep saying this. This is not our planet. We are on the wrong planet. Somebody dropped us off. I don't know if these are like walking, talking bots.
Matrix shit.
It has to be, because there's no way real men, authentic real men, think like this. And you know who I blame? Kevin Samuels.
Explain.
He has this whole platform of like this high value man, and like even like on certain dating sites, like men are just like high value man. Swipe left, bitch. I'm sorry. What makes you a high value man? Because you make a lot of money? Do you know how many women that make a whole shit ton of money? Bless you. Do you know listen, especially black women? Come on now. We're the most highly educated demographic of people in the United States. What are you talking about? I would say the world, honestly. Like, what?
I think just truly within the last 10 years, as women, and specifically women of color, have become even more educated, and we're not having kids as early, and we're putting off getting married, and we're focusing on careers. Men are like, we need to return to the values. So we're going to make women who don't fit this little archetype that was in like Leave It to Beaver shit feel awful. And that's how we're going to get our masculinity back. And you know what? I'm here to say that that's wrong. And all that these videos and TikToks and platforms are doing is making me see who likes it, and I'll block them from my entire life.
But you know what I think it is too? I think with these men, I think some of them have this archaic way of thinking from either their grandfathers or their uncles who ain't been shit all their lives. And they are still wanting to have these, women like their grandmothers who will sit through shit and, have the husband with, kids on every block and all this other kind of bullshit. And it's like, but you didn't bring what Willie Earl bought back in the 50s. Because Willie Earl paid everybody's bills. Okay. So yeah, he might have been a hoe, but Willie Earl paid your bills.
But I was sitting my ass at home not having to work 40 hours a week. Damn it.
Listen, Estelle did not have to work, and all she did was raise kids, cook and clean. Willie Earl came home and paid the bills. You're not doing that.
Mama Estelle didn't have the internet and couldn't see what the hell else was out there.
She was in a cult and had pastors telling her, well, just go on and pray your way through.
Well, I mean, we have options and access to the world, the internet, people all over the place. I can see what it's like. I can see that people don't act like this.
I just need
and have brains.
For all the fathers out there, this is what happens when you don't spend time with your sons. This is what happens.
Dads, go out and give your son a hug.
This has to be satire, though. This has to be for clickbait, and then he has to be explaining a story about somebody, and then he's like, haha, I got you. That wasn't really my opinion. He has to be doing that.
I don't how are you saying that a woman is less valuable when she's pregnant because she can only have one man's child at a time when you have the ability to go and impregnate multiple people at the same time?
Yeah, it sounds like you're devalued. Because she's more rare.
I made one commitment and you've now made 27.
Listen.
That's called child support, love. That's 40% times 7.
I don't do math. But no, I mean, but even a woman being able to bring forth life, like, how does that devalue? She's the creator of life and the giver of life, and that somehow devalues her because of vaginal elasticity? Like,
to carry on your dumbass
where's your mother?
Your stupid DNA.
Where's your grandmother? Where are the women in your life? You can't have mothers. You can't have. You're raised by wolves.
Can you imagine telling your mom, wow, mom, thank God you stayed with dad because you would be so much less valuable if you had multiple children from multiple men.
Would you say that to your daughter? Like, oh, you had a baby, you're less valuable. What?
I'm going to say this is all clickbait, but it's not the clickbait we need.
No, because people are, I mean, that's even the one guy who came out, the one podcast that was like getting a lot of traction and stuff about talking about his preferences in women and saying that allegedly that, because I saw the clip and he was saying that, oh no, I don't date black women. You know, if you know, I don't date, he called them night riders. And then he said, well, if you want to go out here and get you a Shaniqua. And I'm just like, sir, there's a difference between a preference and like self-hatred, and what you displayed was self-hatred, because for you to just equate someone's name with, you know, this stereotypical act of black women, that's a whole different level of self-hatred. Like, I can say for me, I prefer to date black men, but I don't be out here, Billy Bob is a piece of shit. I don't do stuff like that. And, you know, like, that's stupid.
How about I don't date embezzlers? I don't date narcissists.
Exactly.
I don't date people who have 2 left feet. I'll take that.
People who talks about women's vaginas who don't have one. Like, what the fuck?
If anyone ever refers to the elasticity of my vagina.
What it sounds like to me is that you have a small penis, sir. I was trying to not say it, but
facts beget facts.
If you're worried about somebody's elasticity, it sounds like you just got a small dick. I mean, go get you some, you know, a penile implant or some shit. I don't know. That's
a penile implant would fix a lot of these problems.
Oh, Jesus.
Or just self-acceptance. Let's all love each other and ourselves.
This is when we need to put prayer back in the schools. That's just so weird. Wow. Anyway, what are we watching? Anything good, juicy?
Today, well, first of all, let me start from the start. I started watching 20-somethings, hashtag 20-somethings on Netflix, which is the reality show in Austin, Texas, where they take all these young people, they throw them in Austin, and they say, live your life.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, do I miss Austin, Texas sometimes. I don't know if you know I lived there.
Yeah, you went to school there.
Have I talked about it enough?
Quite a bit. Hook 'em horns and stuff.
Hook 'em horns, baby. I didn't realize I missed Austin so much, but watching the show, I'm just, God, man, that's a good town to be young in.
Yeah.
Will I ever move back? Absolutely not.
I've only been to Austin once, and that was when I graduated my MBA, and we stayed in a hotel that was literally the same street as, like, it looked like Austin, Texas, Skid Row.
And, sounds like 6th Street.
It was downtown, and it was a Marriott. It was a very nice hotel.
Oh, that is
6th
Street, Dirty 6, baby.
And I was like, "Yep, nope, we're gonna die. Let's leave." And I go to the
homeless
IKEA.
people I've met and fed on that street drunkenly. It
was
at 3 a.m.
It was a lot. I'm like, y'all paying how much is this a night with all these homeless people sitting outside? No.
Yep.
But yeah, and then I go to the, used to go to the IKEA there. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, so that's been a fun one. And then I started watching Archive 81 on Netflix.
I did see the preview for that. I want to watch that too.
I lay down to I was like, I'm gonna take a little nap before the podcast because I want to be well rested, give the people what they want, have my energy on 10. Let me just put something on in the background. Do you think I fell asleep?
No, that movie looks way too intense to fall asleep
It's like, it's about this guy who restores old camcorder footage. Mm-hmm. That's what it's called, right?
You ever owned a camcorder?
No, but is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Camcorder, video
like,
camera?
Is it VCR?
Yeah, that.
VHS, I mean?
That one. Okay. And so he gets approached by someone to kind of restore this film that was lost in a fire. And he just keeps like uncovering stuff. But there's something about found footage, or like I guess it's not technically found footage, but they make it seem like it's found footage. That shit creeps me out.
Yeah.
There's something about like watching something that wasn't meant for you. That was a very, I don't know. So it's found footage. It's super creepy. He keeps uncovering all this stuff and he's looking for different things. It's got me. Muy interesante.
Is it considered horror or like sci-fi?
What did you call me?
Horror. I didn't call you a whore. I said horror. Is it a horror movie?
I'm just not hearing the difference.
Horror. 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 It's the difference thing. A horror movie. You are a whore.
We're going to have to talk about that later.
That's 2 different things.
Anyway.
Tell us in the comments if I said 2 different things. I said 2 different things. Horror and a whore.
I think it's suspense. It's not
suspense.
Scary.
So, say horror.
Horror.
That's what I said.
Horror. Anyway, it's kind of, it's so good. The acting's great. It's got that guy Asher from
how did I
get married to?
No, How to Get Away with Murder. And he was on
but Tyler Perry's How Did I Get Married?
What's the other one? Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black. Yeah, and he's in it. It's good. I've only watched a couple episodes, but I am intrigued, and I'm still watching Yellow Jackets. It's getting creepy, so I had to back off a little bit.
Cool beans. I stayed up till 5:00 this morning, binge watching this one show called All of Us Are Dead.
As soon as I saw the preview, I said, I bet you Monica Fleming is watching this shit because it's apocalyptic, isn't it?
Yes, I absolutely. If you don't know anything about me, I love apocalyptic movies.
She is manifesting the end of the world.
I mean, it's gonna happen. Look how many videos it is. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to South Korea. South Korea.
Please.
The reason why is because South Korea has some of the most amazing apocalyptic movies on Netflix.
Because they're living the apocalypse. Are you kidding?
Well, no, not North Korea, South Korea.
Either Korea.
But they're our allies. But South Korea,
we do love.
They gave us Squid Games. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
Exactly. So they have some brilliant geniuses over there in movie and television. I just, K-dramas. Oh, love them. I don't understand what they're saying, but I love it.
What's going on that they can come up with this wild shit in their minds?
Probably North Korea.
North Korea, right? It's a little close, a little too close for comfort.
The thing is, the All of Us Are Dead series. It's one season and it's 12 episodes. It's literally about this zombie apocalypse that happens. There's a virus outbreak that happens in the high school, and these high school kids are literally trying to survive the night and trying to survive and get to the adults and all this other kind of stuff because all their classmates are turning. Here's one thing that it does kind of reminisce of like what happened with Wuhan and the COVID virus as well too, with COVID-19. And just how to survive. Like, I really feel like there's really two things that you need, like, as far as weapons is concerned, when you're trying to survive. Number one, a crowbar. A crowbar can be used as a weapon. It also can be used to hold stuff up, to close stuff, keep things closed, and to pry open doors and locks, right?
Where do you get a crowbar from?
You can buy them at Walmart or Home Depot.
Really?
I got a crowbar in my garage.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Huh. You can buy a crowbar like $15. Probably less than that.
Okay, carry on.
But a steel one, though, obviously. But, I mean, they don't make plastic ones. But anyway, and then a pistol if you can find one. Like, yes, a semi-automatic is amazing, but most people, especially, like, if you have to break into somebody's house or something like that, most people have pistol, like, bullets versus semi-automatic. So, yeah.
Like an AR-15 as soon as you break into someone's house.
I mean, if you went to Kyle Rittenhouse's house, he would have it.
Who?
And
that's a TBT for another time.
Exactly. But yeah, so a zombie apocalypse, make sure y'all watch it on Netflix. It's really good.
It looked interesting. It's like Netflix's top 10 this week.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm telling you, South Koreans, they make amazing movies. And it's overdubbed with, English subtitles and all that kind of stuff. Where you're not reading.
When you do the dub in English, do you keep the captions up?
No, I can't watch. So here's the thing. Movies, I cannot watch with captions because I have a tendency to keep reading them and I'm not looking at it. But if I'm on TikTok and people have the captions on, I have a tendency to look at the captions. I don't know why. It just does that.
I can't hear for shit. And I also don't pay attention unless I'm engaged on multiple fronts. So I have to keep the captions on. But when it's dubbed, that means that I'm hearing English and I'm reading English captions, but the words aren't matching the voice.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes like that when it's written in... Is it written in Korean? Korean is the written
language on the bottom.
Yes. So it's written like, and then they, translate it to English and what the signs actually say and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So yeah, but they don't have the whole, because it's in English, but their mouths aren't moving the same.
Yeah. So,
but it's a really good series. Only if you like zombie apocalyptic stuff, which I do.
If there had been a zombie apocalypse when I was in high school, I 112% would have died. I just don't think I had my faculties together. And I was way more malnourished and out of shape.
I was definitely in shape in high school because I played flag football. I was in the marching band and I did discus and shot put. So I don't think I would have been able to outrun anything, but I would have had the strength to throw something off me.
Oh, just swinging around.
Yeah, I would have had the strength to fight. Absolutely. Yeah.
Huh.
Definitely.
That's good. I'm glad one of us would have survived.
Yeah. Now college? Nah.
I was drunk the
Definitely different story. All right, last thing that we're going to talk about in the rehab, we're going to head over to the Rehab Corner. Anything else we need to talk about before we go to Rehab Corner?
No.
All right.
They tried to make me go to rehab. I said,
go, go, go.
Hey, yes, I've been bad, but when I come back, you
go, go, go. Get your ass in that corner.
Hey, welcome to the Rehab Corner, everybody.
All right, so in the Rehab Corner, we're going to talk about, I saw this video on social media that really resonated with me, and I figured that it would resonate very well with Alyssa as well too, because we work in the healthcare industry and all that kind of stuff, and we've seen a lot of different things. Anyway, there was this one, I think she was either a nurse or respiratory therapist, and she basically was sitting in her break room, and she was just like, very kind of not distraught, but just kind of like, you could tell she was over it, and she was just like, I literally just had to help intubate a 94-year-old patient, or put a 94-year-old patient on a ventilator. And so then it cut to this other woman who's a nurse, who she was advocating for something called death with dignity. And I don't know if it's anything that's official yet, but she was just saying that death with dignity should be a law that's basically in all 50 states, where it allows people to be able to, it's kind of like doctor-assisted euthanasia, right? To be able to die with dignity, literally, and not put 94-year-olds who are full codes, like, do everything you can for them, compressions and everything else. And it's like, they're 94.
Oh God, I hate when they do compressions on old people.
You're gonna break their ribs. That's all. They're gonna be just Rice Krispies. Seriously, they're gonna die. You're only prolonging the inevitable. Like, why do you want a 94-year-old on a ventilator?
Death is one of those things that no one talks about unless you're intimately involved with it on an everyday basis. So like, everyone in our office, literally probably once a week, we all have the conversation. We're like, do not put me on ECMO. Do not keep me on a ventilator for too long. If I need
comb my hair.
If I need a trach or a peg, maybe we should talk about what's going on. Comb my hair, shave my leg, things like that.
Definitely put me on ECMO though. I want to be on ECMO.
I give it two.
Not for 5 months. No, don't do that.
No, we have ECMO time limits in the office.
Yeah.
And I need to get up with therapy even if I'm dying.
Yes.
But normal people don't have conversations like that, and they just know what they see on TV and what the doctors tell them. So the doctors, I don't know, if you have a doctor who's honest with you, but then they also play that game where they're like, well, it could. We don't want to say 100% because it's not so no one has that conversation. You just see on TV like, oh, this person was in a coma for 6 years and then they woke up. So maybe they can't, I don't know. People need to talk more about options and what they want to happen, because when this kind of stuff does happen, it usually is very quick and unexpected, and then you're screwed.
But then after you two have family members fighting over what they would want, like, I mean, I've seen it multiple times where family members come in, especially siblings, and they're just like, Mom would want this. And the lady is just looking like, oh, I just want to die already. And they're just like, no, we want to keep, and you have the kids fighting because nobody has the power of attorney. Nobody's the medical power of attorney over the person. And you could have a medical power of attorney without having, your decisions being taken away right then and there. It's in the event you become incapacitated, not currently now. Right. But I think too, people of color also, I feel like people of color don't have that conversation, that death conversation a whole lot. Why do you want to bring, you trying to kill me? It's like, no, I'm actually trying to prepare. So we're not just left all in the cold. Like, can we know where your, life insurance policies are? Like, do you even have one?
That's why Molly was trying to get her mom and dad to write a will for 3 episodes.
Exactly. And they finally did it with the help of Kelly, but yeah, I think, I've seen so many times where 90-year-olds were intubated and put on ventilators. And I'm just
90
like,
is a
why?
good long life. And there's just not a lot of coming back from those measures when you're 90.
No, you have most 90-year-olds do not have fights in them left like that to be able to come back and then, we're going to rehab. We want them to walk without a walker. They're 90. They're 90. Let those people go. Like, I know you're going to miss your grandma. I know it. But
I just feel
let
like
her go.
At the hospital, it takes so much sometimes for people over the age of 80. It takes so much to make someone limited interventions, even because the family's like, do everything. And I'm like, do you know what it means to do everything?
I don't think and I think that's the missing piece of the puzzle. I don't think they know what everything actually is. Because if they knew what it entailed, they would not want their family members to suffer like that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
there's no way.
No, you got feeding tubes.
A machine breathing for you. All these medicines making your heart beat.
Pressure sores. Like, it's no. Then they're on halfway sedation and they're just
rectal tubes, sedated.
It's horrible. I do think that should be a rule though, and especially too when you have a lot of these terminal cases, especially like terminally ill, cancer cases, or just terminally ill like rare conditions. I think people should have the choice of when they want to die. Yeah, like they're in control of their faculties. They know exactly. They have capacity to make decisions for themselves. And I think that we should have, physician-assisted euthanasia. I really do.
I just think these extended measures are for the living. Like, you are young, or you're younger and healthy and have your life, so you're thinking, why wouldn't they want to live? Why wouldn't we do everything for them to live longer?
Yeah.
But when you're in the, I don't know what it's like to have something terminal or to be close to dying or to be super sick, but I'm just thinking, like, it's not the same.
No, it's not. I watched my dad, like, it looked like every day he woke up before he died, he looked like he was just like, God damn, I woke up again. Shit. Like, because the quality of life. It wasn't because he didn't love my mother. It wasn't because he didn't love, me and my siblings, because he didn't love life. But quality of life means something totally different to you than it means to me.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's the key that I think a lot of people don't realize, is that, yes, this person is laying in the bed and they're alive, but they have no quality of life. They're literally eating pureed food, sitting here watching a channel that they don't even realize what's on. They're sleeping all the day. They're on their backs. They're in immense amount of pain.
Bed sores get so bad.
Yeah.
There's holes literally burrowed into their ass.
Then you got nurses flipping them and flopping them, trying to change them and all this stuff, and shoving them in a wheelchair, and then our happy asses, hey, you ready for PT and OT?
And then guess what? They get out of the hospital and you have to then pay for someone to do that
Exactly.
for 24 hours a day until they die.
Even being deduced down in the blink of an eye of being this independent, walking, talking person, to now you're in diapers and having somebody have to wipe your own ass.
Need someone to do every single thing for you. It's depressing.
It's depressing, and you have all day to think about that. Like, you're trapped in your own body. So let your 90-something-year-old grandmas go. That's all I'm saying.
You haven't read? It's a book.
I might have listened to the audiobook. You never know. Let's hear it.
Verity.
Nope.
By Colleen Hoover. No.
Don't even know who Colleen Hoover is.
You don't know who Colleen Hoover is?
Mm-mm. What other book has she written?
She's like the romance writer, Colleen Hoover.
Like Danielle Steele? My mom used to read all of Danielle Steele books. Do you know who Danielle Steele is?
Anyway, if y'all haven't read Verity,
Chef's Kiss writer,
go read Verity.
So in relation to that book, what's going on?
Well, now I can't talk about it because it just would give stuff away, so I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Well, you have to. You're going to leave our fans hanging.
Fine. It's a woman who's an author, and she gets into an accident. She goes from being an independent person to being like catatonic, paralyzed, can't do anything. Someone has to do literally everything for her. And I just always think, how crazy is that? It sucks.
Yeah, it does.
And it's hard mentally.
Yeah, you could have had that this past weekend with your little incident this past weekend.
I didn't even tell y'all. God, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Here's your little story as we wish you goodbye.
Yes.
I was trying to be a good friend. My fucking roommate was like, hey, it's my birthday. You have to do what I want. I said, okay, yeah, that's how birthdays work. What do you want to do? She said, let's go-kart racing at this place in town. I said, cool. And she was like, it's so much fun. And then her boyfriend was like, but there is a point when you're driving and you're like, man, this car sure is going fast. Wow. Should I be driving this fast? And
Probably
I was like,
not.
Okay, I watch a lot of Formula One. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'll be fine.
Now you're a Formula One driver.
Now I'm a Formula One driver. Driving the car, and the guy first of all, this is what happens. I said, hey, do I need to be wearing closed-toed shoes? And my friend was like, no. We get there. Who needs to be wearing closed-toed shoes? Me. Was I wearing closed-toed shoes? Nope. So I had to borrow some nasty-ass shoes that they have for you. So I was already grossed out, but I was trying not to ruin the vibes. I was trying to have a good time, right?
Caught a vibe.
Vibe. Ooh. Okay. Put on the helmet, put on the little sock head thing, put on my nasty-ass used Toms. My feet are sweating. I'm like walking out to the track, and they tell you, no bumping. The only way we can all be safe is if we all drive safe. No hitting any other cars, which, duh, we're not at Mr. Gaddy's playing bumper cars. Anyway, driving my car, someone bumps me from the back, and I was like, that was kind of extreme, but not a big deal. All the cars are driving. I'm driving my little car around, zip, zip, zop. I feel the equivalent of, I don't know, a Hummer ramming into the back of me. Boom! I go out spinning. I'm like nauseous at this point. Hit my head, hit all this shit. And
Alyssa's been hit by a car twice.
I have been hit. This was, I swear to God.
So she knows what the fuck she's talking about.
This was worse than my body being hit by a car. Was this stupid little go-kart getting hit. And so they stop every car on the track. This guy runs over to me and he's like, are you okay? I know when men tell you that, it's because you
look fucked.
What they just saw was not okay. So I was like, oh no. My head is hurting. It's like, wee. I feel like in those movies when explosions go off and you're walking away and then your ears are just ringing because I'm dramatic as hell. And I was like, sir. Also, I had been drinking, so I was like,
you turned into an instant hypochondriac.
Yeah. Well, and I work in an ICU, so I'm just like, oh god, like checking my body, making sure nothing's like numb or tingly. And I was like, sir, I don't think I should drive this car anymore. He's like, okay, it's fine, get out. So I get out of the car. He drives it back. This girl walks me down. I drink some water. And my head was kind of hurting, but I was fine. The rest of the night, I was fine, and I didn't want to go to sleep because, again, I'm freaking myself out. Yeah. I wake up in the morning, bruises all over my chest. I'm like, oh man, I've been in a horrible accident. I'm shopping at Costco. I start getting a headache, and I was like, this is it. I'm hemorrhaging. I know it. I fucking know it, dude. It's gonna be one of those things where you think you're fine, but like 3 days later, you're in the ICU, and they have to do a burr hole.
And then you're on neuro, seeing your friends.
Yeah, and I'm like, I swear to God, I was sitting in the car. I'm like trying to test my own vision, which doesn't work. I'm like, can I track still? As there, like,
yeah, that's
moral
horrible.
Story is, I was in a horrible accident this weekend, and I'm just happy to be alive. You need to stop
going out. No. You need to give your body a break for a little minute. You've been through a lot these 2020 since December. You've been through a lot.
You know, so I had patients this week. I had a patient who drinks a gallon of whiskey a day.
That's a lot.
A gallon.
Do they have cirrhosis?
Amongst other things.
Okay.
Like a hefty credit card bill. But and he has a dog, and no one knows what's going on with the dog. Because he came into the hospital and no one's been able to contact anybody. So was the dog alive?
I think the dog is the least of his worries at this point.
Anyway,
he's drinking a gallon of whiskey every day.
All that to say, I have patients come in, and I think, like, how, like, sad is it that you treat your body like trash? A gallon of whiskey a day, that's so much. And, like, here I am just throwing my body around, treating it like trash.
Well, they call them weekend warriors.
I'm a weekend warrior.
That's why I stay in the house.
I need to start staying in the house.
You need to stay in the house.
I have some nasty brew. Yeah, so if you don't hear from me in a week, I check the ICU.
Okay, don't say that. Don't. We rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
And if they burr hole, they have to shave my head.
Okay, we're not going there. We're rebuking that. Y'all have a great weekend.
Would you shave your head if I had to shave my head?
Would I shave my head for you?
Yeah.
Hell no.
What the? No, please. You're going to let me come back on the podcast with a half-shaved head?
That's a style. People do that all the time.
Y'all, I will not be on this podcast if they have to shave my head. We're done with the video.
There's nothing wrong with you. Stop putting that into the atmosphere. We rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Jesus, Lord.
I'm fine. I'm literally just a little, I just hit my little.
No, if my mom asked me to do it, like when she was going through her battle with breast cancer, I would have done it if she would have asked me to do it.
My mom would never ask that of me.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't. She wouldn't ask me to do that either, but if she did.
It's such a nice thing for people to do, though.
I think it is. Yeah, I mean, and it's just, I mean, I'm not saying it's just hair, because there are a lot of people that are emotionally attached to their hair. Me. And, but yeah, I mean, I think because I'm locking my hair now, I just don't care.
I mean,
I'm not going to shave it.
This lady waxed my eyebrows too thin one time, and I cried for days, so I can't imagine shaving my hair.
When somebody fuck up your eyebrows, it's traumatic, because your face is off.
Your face is
off. It's off. Really, really off. So anyway,
all that to say,
y'all have a great weekend, a great week rather. Don't go to go-kart riding. Please don't.
Don't. Or like,
don't do it.
Just don't do it.
No, just don't. Just don't. Drive as safely as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember to spread love.
Spread light. And don't forget to laugh your face off. It's only 8 o'clock.
I know. I still gotta go to HEB.
What?
Because I had to get to. I told you I was lazy today.
Yeah.
And so I did yesterday. Yeah. So I need to go and get some cabbage and
cabbage soup diet.
Not soup, but just cabbage.
What do you do with the cabbage?
I just make it.
Oh, why didn't I think that? Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.